first year we lived in Guyana, the first week we were there, we had 50 hours of blackout that week where we had no electricity. And that's not uncommon to have blackouts there on a fairly consistent basis. The water pressure there is very low, so for instance at my house, the water only runs about 6 hours a day. We fill up reservoir tanks and then pump the water from those reservoir tanks to tanks that are on the roof of my house.
Yes, that's what we do.
And use the gravity as our water pressure. And so water can be a challenge there. Even things like the internet, real challenge. It may go down and be down for a week before it finally comes back up.
Wow.
So things that we've become very accustomed to here are daily challenges there. You know, today the water's not working right, and you get that taken care of, and then tomorrow the electricity is not on, and then the next day the internet is down, and then the next day it's something else. It's very complicated to live there and to live like we're accustomed to living.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning on Facebook a number of times, like the difficulties going on, like no electricity now for 2 days. You know, the water stopped and this and that, and no baths for a week now. Every time I turn around, I look at your Facebook postings during the summer, and it's like one thing after another. Just never ending.
That is the challenge. It wears me down quickly. But on the other hand, the work that we do there really, truly does make it worthwhile, and it's why I've been doing it for, in excess of 20 years now.
I know all situations are difficult when you come in a situation like that, but what would you say is probably the most heartwarming situation that you've ever experienced by doing this?
Good question.
Well, I remember distinctly, and there are lots of stories that I could tell you, but I remember one story in particular. It was a little girl who was she looked to be about 9 or 10 years old, and we were at a clinic across the river from the capital city in a very rural area, and they had heard, the people in the community where we were at had heard that we had an eye doctor. And so the mother showed up that morning with this little girl, and she was leading her by the hand because the little girl couldn't see. And I remember seeing them as they were coming up and thinking, oh, me, she's going to be hoping that her eye doctor can do something for this little girl, and I bet we can. And so the eye doctor did an examination about an hour or so later as she worked through the system, and he came up to me and he said, this little girl has a condition that is largely muscular, and there's a special kind of lens that is very hard to come by, but if we have that lens, she'll be able to see, and if she wears these lenses for about 3 months, her eyes will become normal again, and she'll be able to see regularly.
Wow.
And I said, really? What do we do about getting those lenses? He said, I have exactly what she needs somewhere in these 20 crates of glasses that I've got behind us. So we've got to dig through and find them. And I remember...
Start digging.
We dug through... That's what we did. There were about 3 or 4 of us that were digging and trying to find them. He said, don't worry, they're not like any eyeglasses you've ever seen. You'll know them when you see them. And sure enough, they were quite an interesting contraption. When he put those glasses on the little girl, she was looking at him, and she kind of gasped. And then she turned and looked up at her mother and said, oh, that's what you look like.
Oh, man.
Oh, that is awesome.
The first time she'd seen her mother. And I mean, that happened probably 15 years ago, and it gives me goosebumps now telling that story.
Did you ever see that girl again?
5 or 6 of us. No, I never did see that girl again.
Well, she sees that. That's all that matters. I want to remind everybody, you're listening. I just want to take a moment here and remind everybody, you're listening to Mark Mercer's a very loving, caring, and sharing Christmas special. And on the line with us right now is Steve Deloach, who does missionary work down in Guyana, taking medical teams down every summer. You, too, if you're interested, can get involved. And you can go to Steve's website. You can email me at, my email is mark@northstar-radio.co.uk. That's Mark Mercer at northstar-radio.co.uk. Or you can go right to Steve's website, which is... That's your cue, Steve. Right, Guyana-missions.org. Well, Steve, I'm really glad you popped in, man. You just took the whole show over. I'm so pleased.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No, I'm glad, man. You know, I miss you. We don't get to talk too much. You're so busy, and you're so busy deep frying those Cajun turkeys that I never get to taste. And
that's what I thought. Here, I thought the guy was coming home from deer hunting. Here, he's been down in Guyana.
Yeah, exactly.
How do they take that Arkansas accent down in Guyana? How do you speak what language do you speak, and how does that work with your accent?
Yeah, how do they put up with those Arkansanians?
We're here. They speak English in Guyana.
I speak English. So it's you down there fouling the water. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, a guy from work is from Guyana. He came here as youth. His parents came.
Is that George?
Yeah, he works with me.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we'll have to get him on a plane and send him back.
They speak a very Caribbean British accent, but that's what makes Guyana so unique, because our doctors and nurses and other support personnel can come down and go to work today, and they don't have to learn another language. They don't have to be proficient in another language, and they can go to work today, the moment they get there. So that's what makes it so special.
Well, Steve, you must have a Christmas wish this year, and you know you've called the right place here at Loving, Caring, and Sharing. And I'm wondering, what is your Christmas wish for this year?
You know, I just wish that everyone enjoys their family and their friends, as I have gotten a chance to do. And
Amen to that.
That's my wish. That's my Christmas wish.
That's excellent. You know, I meant to ask Timothy earlier, and I kind of forgot. I'm remiss. Timothy, what's your Christmas wish this year?
My Christmas wish is that there's a third-party candidate that's worth a bucket of warm spit to vote for in the election.
Okay, there we go.
I nominate Mark Mercer.
Yeah, that's the guy you want. Too funny. Ay.
I'm wishing my kid doesn't overdraft my PayPal account, and
it's too late for.
I thought you were just.
That password was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be wishing for smaller fingers. You could program the iPad thing.
Yeah. Well, no, the money thing was a little more important in this respect. I'm like, holy cow, she just got access to my PayPal account.
As far as those fat fingers go, I got two words for you, Thomas. Jenny Craig. Okay? All right. It's time.
You know, I just went and joined the gym like 3 months ago because of the fact that I'm like, you know, a bunch of these guys that do what I do, the voiceover thing, are dying at 42, 46, 48 because of massive heart attacks, and that's because they're sitting behind a microphone. So I thought it was time to do that. You know, one of these times I walked in and there was this trainer dude sitting there, and he's like, hey, man, I can help you out. And I went over there, and he started teaching me a couple of things, and he's like, you need to stretch. And I'm like, stretch? And what is he
stretch
talking
what?
about? He's like, okay, push your hips out towards the front. And I'm like, okay. And at this point, I started feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this guy's kind of creeping me out right now. And then he's like, push it out a little further, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know about this at all. This just doesn't seem right whatsoever. Another guy telling me to push my hips out forward, and just to a degree that was very uncomfortable. But I think we're okay.
Visit? Is that right? Is that what you're saying? That was the last time you went to the gym?
No. I just make sure I distance myself from certain people. That's all.
How do you do that, Thomas?
Maybe. Yeah, you do whatever you can. You know, he did teach me one thing. Now, I've been going with a friend. He did teach me one thing, and I'm like, one of the days I went into the gym, and I'm like telling my friend, listen, I'm going to show you something this guy showed me. It's pretty good, okay? And so I got down, started showing them the thing.
Wait, that
And-
just didn't sound right.
And, yeah, I know. Well,
You're filling my head with all kinds of weird images, Thomas. You're
yeah,
freaking.
well, it's in the gym, so I'm it's
Oh, so
public
that's
place, so
okay.
it's fine.
It's all.
Anyway, yeah, it's getting better. I'm showing him like, yeah, this is what he showed me how to do, and this and that, and I'm like, he's like, I look up and he's like, the guy's standing right there. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing, man?
Oh man, his name wasn't Jerry. Was it?
Andrew, that's what his name was, yeah, or Anthony or something like that.
Lance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Lance makes
Philip.
Anyway, yeah.
Hi, I'm Philip. Let me help you with your bending there, Thomas.
Yeah, like, push forward. I'm like,
Okay. Anyway, so Thomas, you're going to work on your heart so you won't croak on our show next time. That's good to hear.
yeah, I'm working on that.
All right. Okay, George, what's your Christmas wish this year?
Kind of like Steve there. Just wish for good times and be close to my family, my friends.
Peace on earth, goodwill toward men?
Yeah, the simple things.
Okay. All right. Scotty?
Right now, some conflict in the family, so I'm wishing for.
You're wishing for conflict in the family. That can be arranged.
I'm experiencing that right now.
Oh, the opposite. Okay.
Yes, a little bit.
He told his wife tonight he was going shopping.
All right, so some conflict resolution for Scotty. Kenny, what about you? What's your Christmas wish this year?
The famous words of Tiny Tim.
Yes. If you say it, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to take that tree.
You say it.
I'm going to take the. God bless us, everyone. Somebody hit that
Everyone.
kid. All right, Kenny wants the generic. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to Daniel. Daniel, what's your Christmas wish this season?
That somebody would ban Christmas.
That's right. I forgot. He's Ebenezer. I keep forgetting. I'm asking the wrong guy. He's a Christmas hater. That's all right. You're at the right program. You're at a very loving, caring, and sharing special Christmas. So you're right where you belong. Yes, Christmas time. That's right. At loving, caring, and sharing. So, all right. Well, good. Did I miss anybody? I probably missed somebody. Who? You never asked me what I thought. You know what? I didn't ask me what my Christmas wish was.
Mark, what is your Christmas wish?
Well, Kenny, seeing that you asked me, I have to tell you, my Christmas wish has been granted. I got my Christmas wish. It's already happened.
Your friend.
Oh, you got your own little Christmas show. Oh, baby.
That's right. You guessed it. We have a winner. That's right. I wanted to be on North Star Radio. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted all year. But I didn't know how to make it happen. I didn't know Daniel well enough to ask him, Daniel, would you please put me on just this once? Please, Daniel, will you? And he did. And here I am. And not only that,
all you have to do was ask.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, and I got to join a Skycast Reinvented on Facebook. That's another wish I got. And I got to re-meet all my old buddies. I got to talk to Hippie again. I got to talk to Keith, and I got to talk to Sylvia, and even Spud, darling little Spud. Oh, and I caught up with Marky. What's Marky go by? Little fella.
What do you mean? What colour knickers have you got on tonight then?
What's that?
Well, his chat line was so.
Oh.
What colour knickers have you got on tonight then?
Yeah. He always ask me those ever so personal questions in front of everybody and embarrass me. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm feeling. Oh yeah, I'm the Christmas food boys. It is Christmas.
Talking of which, you just spoke about Hippie, and Hippie has joined us in the room.
Oh, Hippie, hello and Merry Christmas and welcome.
Well, just bear with me a second. There you go. She can say hello now.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Hippie.
I'm doing fine. I was sitting up most of the night just to join your room, to check it out. You know,
wonderful.
see if I wanted to see it was. I wanted to see if your room was as good as my Danish
Oh, it's
bacon
not.
room.
No, it's not as good as Danish bacon. No, it's not. It's nowhere.
No.
Don't have
You-
the fragrances of cooking bacon here. We do
No.
have some cooking.